Hi Paul.
Hi.
Any team news updates after Friday night?
No, we came through unscathed, so all good. Similar squad to choose from. Obviously, there's been an addition that we'll discuss later, but the main thing is we came through without any injuries.
How's John McAtee recovering after featuring on Friday, obviously after a few weeks out?
Yeah, he did some more training on Saturday morning after his, I think was it sort of 15 minutes perhaps, what he got on Friday. Trained today, so the important thing is getting him on the training pitch, and the more he does that, a bit awkward this week as in with the game tomorrow night to try and get any work into him today, but I'm sure depending on what happens tomorrow, we'll try and take any small window of opportunity to get him some more fitness work so he can be back up to speed as quickly as we can.
So very much still trying to build that volume, and probably more likely to be part of the matchday squad rather than definitely like pushing to start without putting words into your mouth.
Yeah, I think so. You know, obviously I want to give Solihull all the information, but I think in just for sort of clarity for everyone, I don't think he can be out what he was and then just come in and expect to start. If he does start, then he'd definitely blow up. How many minutes we get out of him, I think he's very dubious. So it makes sense for him more to be involved and come on if and when required.
How's Lynnell John-Lewis? Because you said sort of after Friday you were hoping that he'd be okay at least for Saturday, if not probably too soon Tuesday.
Yeah, and that's still the case realistically. He's done some work today. I haven't had time to check how that went or if there's been any reaction. I don't believe so, because I think probably I would have had that flagged up. But I think Lenny was, really keen to almost get back with the squad today. But obviously taking the medical advice on it, kind of just held him back slightly, or not held him back, but probably where he needs to be. With I think the idea of him to certainly take some part of training on Thursday.
Great to get back to winning ways on Friday. Away from home though, you have lost your last three. How important is that to get back to winning ways away from home? Because it's a completely different environment, of course. Than
it is. And playing in front of his own fans, and we get good following, so it's not like we go in there and we kind of up against it. That point of view, there's away support's been fantastic as it has at home, and just saying there generally the approach doesn't change. So sometimes you get better home records than away, probably in general, not all teams, but there's more a percentage that way. But it's not through a mentality. I'm never, not one of those managers. I kind of tend to view games as it's just a game to try and win. And if you go somewhere and there's a big crowd, you might talk about trying to not get them too involved early in the game, etc. But overall, we go trying to put our game together to cause the opposition problems.
And what have you made of Solihull this season, knocking on the door of the playoffs?
Yeah, a good team, and again, a team that maybe not got steeped in loads of history, but they're one of these teams that have clearly got ambitions. They've spent money on the ground, that's improved no end. The facilities, they've got a training ground now, 4G pitch behind the stadium. There's a lot of good work going on there, and that's also fits in terms of the playing squad that they've put in together and the manager that they've got. I think it's a team and a club that want to be involved in the playoffs minimum, if not trying to challenge for automatic. And maybe that's lost on some people in certain areas. There'll be a big challenge for us, and as I said, just sat outside the playoffs. Had a tough run of games recently. We will obviously try and add to that, but they'll be there or thereabouts, I'm sure, or that will certainly be the ambition, as I said.
Yeah, you said that they've had a tough run of games, lost to Chesterfield at the weekend, but until the red card in that game, they were competing well, so it's going to be a really tough test. Yeah,
and again, Chris went to that game. I watched it back yesterday, and it's frustrating when the man gets sent off. Not through anything in terms of Chesterfield taking the points. I know they obviously got back to the top of the league clear, but more just from the point of view as trying to watch opposition. It's clear the dynamics of the game change. I think it probably took a couple of players off that I'm guessing were probably off an eye on Tuesday night while still remaining competitive on the pitch. So yeah, that was a little frustrating, but we've watched other games previous, played Wigan, did extremely well. To go to Wigan and get a replay and then only losing extra time, played very well. And the Notts County game that they've just been involved in was a close game in reality. So that's just a small indicator, albeit they've come out just the wrong side at most of those games, but they're a good side.
And then with Sean Pearson coming back into the team on Friday, did you have to speak to David Long-King at all, just in the way that he was probably played at Kidderminster, for example? He's been on the bench ahead of Pearson at times, so perhaps you could suggest he'd been sort of third choice, and then when you'd made the decision to give Riley a rest, to put Sean into the team instead of David?
No, not really. I think even as you're asking that question, there's almost, like I said, an assumption of someone being third choice, fourth choice. There's sometimes different reasons to why Dave was on the bench instead of Sean, which kind of had that conversation with Sean. And the other night, as I said, I just felt that it was an obvious evening, that the TV cameras are there. That might, while people may respond to it, I don't know certain players. I know Sean, I know what he's about. He's been through that. It's not going to affect him. The results, albeit not a long run, but haven't been what we would have liked, and just maybe that bit of sort of pressure, expectation creeping in, and players understanding and seeing that he's been there more the t-shirt. So I think it just fitted in terms of what we were trying to bring, or what I tried to bring to the team, just that bit of know-how, bit of experience, and hopefully that excuse me, his performance was good, and hopefully it helped some lads around him as well.